What's up, guys? RevSauce9. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for the latest and greatest that comes to my channel and everything else. So this is going to be a quick review. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm not going to go on for hours and hours. These videos are going to be quick. They're going to probably be 10 minutes to 15 minutes at the best, at the most. Again, Sting's final Dynamite. I was really happy with it. I thought this was a B- show. I thought this was a 7.75. I'm not going to say this is the greatest show like Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez says. I think they did what they needed to do with Darby Allin and Sting. I think they continued that storyline leading into Revolution this weekend. I felt the Will Ospreay stuff was a little hokey pokey. I thought that was a little dumb. Will Ospreay looks like he's a different character coming in, like he's not part of the Don Callis family. So I felt they dropped the ball with that a little bit. I felt the whole Wardlow stuff, you know, this whole all-star four-way match or whatever they're doing, or eight-way, whatever, to be part of whatever for Revolution, I thought was a little silly. Nick Wayne stuff, I thought that was a little hokey pokey in my opinion, a little hokey pokey. You know, where's Daniel Garcia and all that? Are we going to see him on Rampage? Are we going to see him on Dynamite address this shit? I thought it was a little weird. Nick Wayne's mom looked pretty hot for a mom tonight, I thought. Sky Blue getting a victory. That's what needs to happen. This women's division, I'm telling you, is starting to pick up. And a lot of those haters of the women's division, a lot of haters of AEW lately, man. They're dying. They're failing. They're going away. Warner Discovery doesn't give a fuck about them. Where are you guys getting your information from? And if you guys got to do really deep dive into the news, man. You guys are reading those Facebook, those X posts, those you know, channels that, you know, put out fake news. And Jordan Grace believed in it this week. She put her foot in the sand and realized that I'm naive, damn. Things that were said about backstage stuff from an unknown account that was ridiculous, and she was posting it all over her social media going, oh, this is what AEW does. They're gross to this guy. I never worked for their company. But if you clearly look at the person's account, it's clearly a troll account. It's clearly a fan account. So you're naive, Jordan Grace. I love you to pieces, and I think you're an amazing wrestler, but you're naive. You stepped in it. You're a fool. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, a lot of you AEW haters, man, I don't understand it. They're not dying. In fact, Warner Discovery came out yesterday, as they said, talks fell through between them and Paramount and the CEOs of Paramount Global and regular Paramount. There's two Paramounts, I guess. Paramount Global and Paramount. I guess Skydance is going to take over, I guess, Paramount Global, I guess. And then something with Paramount and money and talks, and Dave Zasloff is not happy with certain things going on. But anyway, you can go look that up for yourself. But he did state that he's happy with their products that they have on their television. He said he would like to have the NBA right now, but he said he has a little bit of everything on his programming, and he said he was very happy with the relationship with AEW. He said the views are there. He's happy. He's excited for the future of AEW. Again, as I said, I think a lot of you haters that sit here and worry about views and numbers and all this shit about AEW don't realize that there's top brass that worry about that shit, and they're not giving a shit. They're happy. So I don't know why you guys care so much in the IWC, YWC too, this shit, demographics and things. The same with WWE. Their partners are happy. Why do, you know, they don't give a shit about you and I that talk about views. Views are nothing. So I just want to say that. So getting back to it, the women's division looking good. Toni Storm and Diana are going to meet up on Saturday, which is going to be good. I'm believing everything is pre-taped. I'm assuming everything is pre-taped to give the wrestlers some time to heal and recover. Adam Page, that beginning segment, I thought was pretty damn decent. You know, I knew he was going to pull the swerve on the ankle injury. It looks like he's not hobbling. It looked like it was a minor sprain probably or something like that. It looked like it healed up quickly. Adam Page is one of your top heels too, I would say that. Swerve is kind of a tweener now. Like, is he going to go face when he wins the title or not? Swerve is going to win the title. I think at Revolution he wins the title at this point. You've built this man to be the face of your that runs the place. You know, it's going to be shortly lived because Will Ospreay is going to want that championship belt. Yeah, and you're going to give it to him probably at All In, most likely. Do we see Monet at Revolution? You know, maybe she debuts early, but I think that's going to be more big business than anything. So I was reading some things listed about AEW. I guess Grand Slam is going to be changing into the Forbidden Door pay-per-view at Arthur Ashe Stadium, or they're going to do Grand Slam. And then they're going to do possibly another show at Arthur Ashe, which is interesting. So stay tuned. I think they're going to be doing bigger pay-per-views. Now, Eddie Kingston, I did not understand this. This is the low point of the night. And this is why I did not go. This is a college try B- episode. To me, 7.75 or a 7.70. I would give it that. You finally show off Eddie Kingston on your show. And why is he going after? Why are we putting the 3 belts on the line? Why? He doesn't need to put the 3 belts on the line. Put the International Crown on the line. That is an AEW official belt. We don't need a Ring of Honor belt. We don't need, what is it, the television title? Or is it, I don't know what the other title that he has. He has 3 belts. Our New Japan Strong title. He doesn't need to put those 2 on the line. He just needs to put the International Crown on the line and take a loss. He's had his time in the sun. I don't sit here and agree with AEW with, I show him once a month or keep him on Ring of Honor. He's been on Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen, but nobody watches Ring of Honor. I do. Nobody watches it. And they've had him over there, stored away over there, talking about this, that, and the third with the BBC. It drives me nuts how they hide things and then they bring things in. Like, guys, Tony Khan, listen, your casual audience is not going to know what's happening. They don't really watch Ring of Honor. Your hardcore fan like me does. Okay? That's a fact. That's just me being me. It's just, I'm pointing that out to you. Most hardcore fans are watching Ring of Honor, and that's a small audience. Your casual fans are probably watching at best Dynamite per week and maybe Collision here and there if they have the time. And maybe an AEW pay-per-view at best. They're watching your Raws and your SmackDowns and your NXTs. Maybe they'll tune into a Dynamite here and there, or they'll watch Dynamite only. They're not focusing on other products. That's why I'm starting to tell Tony Khan and AEW, you got to put the good shit on Dynamite to get that attention span, because the casual fans going, we don't see Eddie Kingston. There's too many belts. It's too hokey. There's too this. There's too that. Well, because you don't show everything on Dynamite. That's why. If Dynamite's your Raw, your A show, as you say it is, Zaslav said that in a call. Go look at those calls and those media scrims that he's had with the media. He has basically stated, literally, no joke, that AEW is doing great. If it's doing so great, you need to go in, because your casual fan, here's the thing, your casual fan is not giving a shit about Eddie Kingston. You've not given him a reason to care. Will Ospreay, I really hope you show a lot on Dynamite. You got to show this guy off before you bring Okada in and Mercedes Moné. You got to show this guy off, because then he's going to get buried just like Jay White. Jay White, I kind of like the Ultimate Bullet Club Gold thing that they got, the Elite Gold, Bullet Club Elite Gold, whatever they got going on. I do like that. Scissor Me Timbers, Scissor Me Daddy, Bang Bang Gang. I like that. I'm weird like that. I like the NWO. I like big factions. I've always been a fan. But if you're going to do this kind of stuff, you need these guys to, instead of being a comedy gimmick, you need them to be more serious. If you're going to have Jay White run this with Max Caster, why is Max Caster looking like, like he's a rapping guy? And they have him in this serious group, and then they're asking him, well, why were you rapping? Your rap was blah, 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 kind of off. It's like, dude, that's what he does. Then take the rapping out from him and make him a heel character and turn him like Thumonomic Cena kind of deal. If that's what you're going to do with him. The Scissor Bang Bang Gang is kind of weird to me. It's like 1 minute they are balls in with it, and then the next minute they're not balls in with it. Make your fucking mind and stick with it. This is where Tony Khan kind of loses the casual audience. And a lot of my friends will shit on this. That's why I don't watch AEW. Their viewership sucked. They had a full arena. Full arena. And I even checked it out. They did really kind of sell out the arena that they were in. So, and they're kind of taking what I'm saying and they're kind of showing off matches before, match card before the pay-per-view or before a show, like days in advance. I know what WWE's doing. They need to. Hopefully with the Peppermint, they do the things they need to do. Atlantis Jr., legendary Atlantis, his son versus Chris Jericho. This was kind of an interesting match. I thought they would maybe give it to the CMLL guy and maybe continue it for Revolution. But they're putting Chris Jericho in this hokey pokey 8-man whatever tag whatever for kickoff show probably. Chris Jericho is better than that. You should have had this as a match on the card. Again, you have a stacked card. You should put this match should have been on the card. I know who Atlantis Jr. is, and I know who Atlantis is. That was Chris Jericho's mentor back in the day when he was in CMLL for a short period, when he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling before he hit ECW, and then he went from ECW to WCW. And, the thing, I can go on and on and on about Chris Jericho and the history of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's history is very fascinating. And I'm a Chris Jericho kind of a mark if you want to go there, because I know a lot about Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, which is sad about Perry Saturn and he's losing his mind slowly. Again, Adam Page literally trolled the crowd with his injury concerns tonight. Danielson, John Moxley, and Claudio defeat Eddie Kingston, Dax Hardwood, Cash Wheeler. What are we doing with these guys? Eddie Kingston, this is the first time I've seen you in a month on Dynamite. You've been over at Ring of Honor. Why was this not set up in Ring of Honor and brought in? Because I'll tell you why. Tony Khan says people watch his show over there called Ring of Honor. No, the casual fans don't. The hardcore fans do. I know what they're doing. But again, Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler have been over on Ring of Honor television / Collision. So you don't really know what's going on because most people don't watch those shows. And you got big name YouTubers like JD from New York or other people saying, oh, well, we don't watch that stuff. But there's actual storylines that happen between these shows, which you should be watching because it all ties in. And they're probably saying, well, Eddie Kingston, why is he on this show? Finally, we get to see him. You don't watch the other shows, so you wouldn't understand. Will Ospreay makes his official All Elite debut, or makes it official. He's full-time. He stated that. I believe his family's here. I believe in the States. I know Bree Priestley or Davenport, they're calling her. She's full-time over at NXT. So it makes sense for him to be full-time in the States. Again, I could care less for this. I think he's going to break away from the Don Callis family. I think this is a hokey-pokey thing. I think he's going to be a casualty. I think he will win. He'll get beat up by the Don Callis family. I really think that Kadeshita is some really good shit. I just think they've underutilized him. I think Don Callis should just be with him and him only as like a Paul Heyman kind of guy. Orange Cassidy defeats Nick Wayne. This was a match that I thought was a little hokey pokey. Again, like I said, I could care less with the Par side to retain the international championship. I thought that was ridiculous. Orange Cassidy, with help with a bunch of stuff. Chris Jericho gets thrown out, Christian Cage, my bad, gets thrown out, and basically Nick Wayne got orange punched 1, 2, 3, and there was a little interference with the Undisputed Kingdom. Sky Blue with Julia Hart versus Chris Statlander. There was some fuckery. I'm happy to see there's some storylines happening here with Stokely Hathaway, Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. Sky Blue gets the victory, 1, 2, 3, with a open title hit in the face. And then, Sky Blue hits her devastating finisher, 1, 2, 3. That was one hell of a match. I'm cool with it. And then we have Chris Jericho defeating Atlantis Jr. with literally a Walls of Jericho. I could care less. A lot the casual fans not going to understand who Atlantis is. Honestly, people are going to call this a hokey pokey lucha match. That's how these AEW haters, that's what they're going to say. Oh, they just put out these luchas, but they're in partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. CMLL is their other promotion that they put money into. So of course they're going to have the people here. AAA kind of fucked themselves over a little bit over here in AEWville. That's why they literally stopped talking. Nobody realizes, but AAA does not work with AEW anymore. You know that, right? Conan basically shit all over Tony Khan recently and his wrestlers and saying that they don't show up for events and don't do this, that, and a third. And you think Tony Khan's sitting there likely listening to that? No, they severed ties. That's why you saw them re-up their contract with TNA to be partners with them. Because where else were they going to go? WWE doesn't want AAA. So the next best thing is TNA. They could have gone MLW. I think they have some type of working partnership with them too, and GCW. Anyway, then we got Sting making his final debut. He comes off the cast, off the top, and like Crow Sting used to, and yeah, that shit was good. Nick Jackson beats the shit out of Darby Allin. Darby Allin's getting his ass whooped, and then they get ready for Sting. Sting comes out and does badass Sting things, and does a Scorpion Death Drop, and Flair stands tall with the Bucks retreating, saying that they will have a real nice package for Sting on this Sunday. So severance package for Sting this Sunday. But all in all, this show was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was the best show in the world. I would say it's a B-, 7.70, 7.75. Look, at the end of the day, most people that watch AEW are some hardcore fans, and I would say mostly casuals. And you're going to have those AEW haters that are going to say anything AEW does, they're going to hate on it. Anything, if Tony Khan came out and put a 5-star match together, you got those haters like, oh, this shit's hokey pokey. But meanwhile, WWE will do their thing and they'll praise it up and down the court. Like, you can't have it both ways. I love these AEW haters. Like, they're not, like, they can't make their minds. When AEW does something great, they're like, oh, they're signing this person. They're signing, oh, it's great. And then they go, oh, well, it still sucks. And then when WWE does something like that, they're like, oh, it's great, it's great. But why can't WWE do that, but AEW does it? It's fucking horrendously bad, and shame on AEW, right? Anyway, thank you guys for stopping in and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.